Well, it's good to be back after what can only be described as a self-indulgent summer. Let me tell you what's running through my mind. I'm thinking ahead to an extraordinary debate which will be held at the United Nations at the end of this month on a subject that's never been addressed directly before: universal health care. Naturally, AIDS-Free World is deeply interested because HIV is one of those infectious diseases which will be addressed. But one of the aspects which will probably not be addressed frontally is the question of the absurdly high prices charged by the international pharmaceutical industry, prices which tend to compromise human health. And I'm thinking now back to a few days ago when Johnson & Johnson, as you know, was fined $572 million in a court in Oklahoma for the distribution of opioids, OxyContin in particular. It certainly took the sheen off Johnson & Johnson. But that company was only the tip of the iceberg, because Purdue Pharmaceuticals and the infamous Sackler family will be paying up to $12 billion in compensation for the havoc in terms of human health and human life which was caused by their production and distribution of opioids. But let me go back to Johnson & Johnson, because it has a subsidiary called Janssen. And Janssen is under excoriating attack by a number of knowledgeable activists because it produces a vital drug to fight drug-resistant tuberculosis. But it provides the drug at prices of several hundreds, indeed many thousands of dollars, depending on whether you're a poor country or a rich country, for a 6-month regimen. And the University of Liverpool has shown that you can produce and make a profit from that drug at a cost of $8 to $16 for the same regimen. And then, of course, there's the question of that lawsuit that's been filed against in 44 states against a number of pharmaceutical companies: Pfizer, Novartis, Mylan Pharmaceuticals, Teva, companies which have been conspiring to maintain high prices of generic drugs designed for HIV, for cancer, for cholesterol, even antibiotics. And there's a particular scandal around the pharmaceutical company Gilead, which produces the drug called Truvada, which is indispensable in preventing HIV. And Gilead has been charging $1,600 to $2,000 a month for the drug, when representations made at a congressional hearing in the United States shows that it could be produced with a profit for $6 a month. And then there's the case of Eli Lilly and the cost of insulin in the United States, so that Americans have to cross into Canada to purchase their insulin at a lower price. In other words, there is no reckoning here. The pharmaceutical industry, time and time again, in a rapacious, opportunistic fashion, charges high prices. But it doesn't have to end that way. One of the things which would work at the end of this month is a discussion in the debate of regulation, of government legislation, of model laws. We can contain these prices if there is a determination to do so. And you can be sure that AIDS-Free World will be arguing for exactly that. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.